It says we're live.
It says
so
it.
So we're live.
We did it.
This is the Comic Slayer channel. As you can see in that little box, I'm apparently the Comic Slayer. You may know me as Kristan, though, or Omnicat. I have a lot of aliases these days, apparently. And that guy is in the other room of my house. His name's Reid.
Yep.
It's your house, too.
It is. Yeah, I live. I'm not just here. I'm not just in some random other room.
It does look like you're in a different house, though, because the lighting in here is so bright. We just replaced a bulb. It's so bright. Where you're at. Okay, Reid climbed up into the sky.
That room has like a million miles of ceiling, and
it's very tall.
I went up there, and yeah.
I think we should make it clear. It's very tall in this room, but we don't live in some mansion. Just this one room is very high. One high ceiling, and it's in this room.
Yeah, it's all.
It doesn't make sense.
It's probably.
When we picked out the house, though, we were like, that looks really cool. And now we hate it. And we're hoping that the very high smoke detector never needs replaced.
Yeah.
Because you can't get up there.
Not happening. Nope.
And I'm sure not.
Nope.
Anyway, Reid's my husband.
Yeah.
So if you're new to this channel, this is our first video. We just decided we want to talk about these books that we got on vacation. We were on vacation this week. We decided to take a mini day trip. Don't worry, we were really smart about it. We didn't go far. Yep. And we picked up some used books, and we want to talk about them. Used books and other things. We're starting with comics because that's what this is about. And I'm going to start. I think I'm going to start.
All right now. You're first. Go ahead. It's your channel.
No, we're going to go back and forth. I'm going to do one, you do one, okay?
Oh, okay. Now
we're going to talk about things. We wanted to go more in depth than maybe we usually do, as much as we can. For instance, this is Vincent, Book 1, Guide to Love, Magic, and RPG. Guys.
That's life. That's everything.
We went to a local comic shop. I saw this, and I was like, this is something I've been wanting. A viewer on one of the other shows I'm on, I think recommended it. And I was like, yeah, I've never heard of this. And that sounds like my jam. I want to show you some art, because, guys, so Vincent is like this little dog guy or something, and he looks so cute. And these are like little strips, I believe. I forget where. I should have done some research. I forget where he's from. Some other country that isn't the United States. So it's better or whatever. But I think these are like syndicated in a newspaper there. I could be wrong. Watch that be completely wrong. This is what we do here. We get everything wrong. Hey. Leave a comment and let me know I'm wrong.
Research. That's what we do. We do research.
I swear I thought the beginning said something about that. But anyway, Vincent sounds like a nerd, and I love it, and I'm already excited. And I started it, as you can see my little bookmark here. Let me show you my bookmark, if you're interested in bookmarks. Yeah. It's a little cat hand holding a fan.
Oh, I thought it was like a bacon strip. Kind of looks like a bacon. It looks like a bacon strip.
It's not a bacon, it's a fan. And my lovely friend Mary got me some cat hands holding things bookmarks. They're my favorite. So that's Vincent. I'm excited about it. I don't know anything about it. We'll go more in depth, but will we? We
don't know anything.
It looks like my jam.
One day, maybe someday, we can go more in depth.
Yeah, one day.
Oh, is it me?
You're supposed to be ready.
I was trying to think about what I'm doing. I got this thing, Extra Good Stuff, which is incredibly descriptive.
Is it extra good?
I already read this because it was very quick. It probably falls more under this category.
Like a 3 out of 5 on GoodReids?
3.5 out of 5. That's going to be my go-to.
That's your scale. That's your GoodReids scale.
That is my GoodReids scale. That's the GoodReids scale, not the GoodReids scale.
Right.
But yeah, this is by Dennis P. Eichhorn or Eichhorn. I really don't know, and didn't really bother to find out. But it's like a lot of underground artists and stuff. I think it looks pretty sweet. When we picked it up, we actually got this at.
Don't say where. Don't get people promo.
I was just gonna say an LCS. Goodness.
There you go. That's good.
Don't jump on my words like that, lady. we're fighting now.
Yeah.
But they're all like written by Mr. Dennis P. Eckern or Ecker. I think it's Eichhorn. That sounds more right. I don't know, but it looks really neat. There's some artists in here that I recognized on the cover, and it was.
Well, you said it looks really neat, but you've read it, so it was good. It was neat.
Yeah, it was neat. I guess. Sorry, I'm trying to. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. There was something in here that was neat. And I can't find it, and that's fine. But yeah, overall it was good. It was only $10, which was pretty dope because $10 for a perfect bound little guy like this, and like 100% like underground local small press stuff.
Love that.
Is always super cool. So yeah, this was good. I don't know where you can find it, but if you can, it's worth a shot if you like underground old school stuff.
Cool. We may want to look that up. Leave it in the description or something. Yep. So, Yesh, guys, if you don't know me already, but if you do, I love Mutts. Mutts is one of my favorite, if not actually probably my favorite comic strip of all time. It's about a dog and a cat, and it's so wholesome, as the kids say, and it's lovely, and it'll just make you feel good. So anytime I see one of these, like, this isn't the Treasury editions, which I have some of those. They're quite long, and I really like them, but they're sort of hard to read. These are more square bound, and I like that. So I will pick these up when I see them at used bookstores, and it's worth every penny. The cover price is only like, they blocked it out. They literally, I don't know what the cover price is. I feel like it's not a lot because, yeah, I believe I got this half off, and it was worth every penny. It looks like no one ever read it, and I don't know why, because it's so good. So Mutts, love it.
Oh yeah. Next, this is another one that I've read all of it, but I've wanted to reread it a bunch, and that is Big Trouble in Little China, the Legacy edition by Boom.
Tell them how chunky that is. It's nice and chunky, and those you don't have to flop it.
Yeah, I do.
But those Legacy editions are so nice.
Chunky.
They're really nice paperbacks. I could be wrong, but I feel like I was wanting to buy you that for a long time, and I think it went out of print. Yes. So hopefully it's not. You can still pick it up. Clearly, that was half off. So
yeah, it was great. Yeah. Art. It's written by Eric Powell. Made famous, of course, by John Carpenter from the movie. And then Eric Powell wrote it of like Goon fame and Albatross Funny Books and all that stuff. But it's drawn by Brian Churria. I'm bad at pronouncing things, so I'm going to be bad at that. But he did the art, and he hasn't done a ton of stuff, but I really love this art. He did like a Hellboy series, I think, as well. And he did, I think, the art for Hellbreak, which I think we have.
We do.
In
that press book. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a lot of fun. I don't remember a ton of the plot, which is why I'm excited to reread it. But, if you haven't seen the movie Big Trouble in Little China, it's fantastic.
I haven't.
Kurt Russell. That is we're talking like peak Kurt Russell. Like here's Big Trouble in Little China, and like right there's Overboard, and that's it. That's the top of the pyramid, man. That's it.
I don't know these Kurt Russell movies. I don't have a clue. I know. We're just this whole episode is we're fighting.
Yeah.
Stop. So before we fight more, I'm going to show my Legacy edition. I picked up Angel Legacy Edition Volume 2. Boom is putting these out. Same sort of spine. So they would look really good if you got, there's some Firefly ones. There's 2. Angel, and they're coming out with Buffy. And there's a Big Trouble. There may be some other ones. I think Sons of Anarchy. There's one of those. Oh. So this is the really old Dark Horse stuff. So before the seasons, after the fall. And these are notoriously known to be bad. Okay. But... I'm a sucker for it because I want Boom to reprint everything in these editions. So I'm going to support it. I'm going to reread it. I'm a huge Buffy and Angel fan, as you can see by the name, the Comic Slayer. That's, of course, where I'm going with that. Our cats are Buffy and Willow. So I'm excited. I'm going to reread it. I read these in singles back in the day. And when I was a teenager, I liked it because I craved more of the shows. So, and apparently some of these are rare and out of print, blah, 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 is what this says. Okay, I don't care. I'm going to keep buying these, even if I think it's garbage. So, there we go.
I'm not ready. You talk.
Oh, I am. You want me to go? Okay.
Yep, you go. You were fast. Sorry.
So, well, I'm going to show you. So, Giant Days is one of my favorite series of all time. Okay. They came out with 3. Boom came out with 3 of these nice hardcovers, the not on the test editions. Okay. And I'm going to keep them forever because I adore them. But there's only 3, and there will only always be 3. Unfortunately, they didn't sell well enough, according to John Allison. They're not going to make them anymore. I read all of Giant Days in a mixture of actually they were all singles, mostly singles on Hoopla, and I bought some. I bought the last issue. So I was like, I'm going to want to reread this. If I wait and these trades go out of print, I'm going to lose my mind. Okay. So I decided to get some trades. So here's volume 13. Here's volume 8. I actually have some volumes I didn't even grab. So I got everything basically after those hardcovers, including early registration. So the hardcovers have this early stuff. This is before it got a publisher, basically. So it's all John Allison, the early stuff that he drew. So it does differ from the first issues, because John Allison didn't draw the comic. Mm-hmm. So this is all the crazy early stuff, the original self-published stuff. So that's cool. They were putting these in the back of the hardcovers, but because they're not finishing them, I wanted this to have them all in one spot, and it made it easier. So I got several more I didn't even grab, but I needed these, and these are really nice trades. Boom is really good at trades. As much as I'd rather have the hardcovers, I needed them. So there is 14 will be the final volume that comes out in October. I'm ready for it.
Yeah,
I've read it all. It's all great. I have everything up to there. So this is 13.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Well, sweet.
And you need to finish it, Reid. You read some of it, which you really liked.
I honestly don't know where I left off, so I'm probably
going to now.
Yeah, I'm probably just going to read all of it again.
Yeah.
And it is fantastic. It's perfect. Another thing that I got. Yeah. Yeah. I have
Watch out, headphone users. Reid's screaming.
Am I screaming?
That was loud. I heard it from through the wall.
Hey, well, I mean, anybody who's ever watched Kristan on any of her other shows knows it's my thing to yell.
Oh. But you're on camera now, so you got to cool it a little bit. That's all. What if someone's listening with headphones? Just turn it down. It's okay, guys. This is what we do. We're fighting.
I'm sorry if anyone's listening with headphones. I did not mean to scare you like that.
Now you just got some ASMR fans.
Yeah,
there you go.
Welcome.
Yeah.
This channel's got everything. Anyway, so yeah, I really have no idea what this is about. You did not. I showed it. I was like, hey, look, yeah. And you're like,
and I'm like, what?
Neat. And I'm like, it's Gilbert. But it's got Peter Bagg and Gilbert Hernandez's name on it. And that's enough for me because I like both those dudes. And it looks like it's about a band and aliens and stuff, which is also my thing because everything I've ever done and or liked happens to probably have a band or music in it of some point, and there's these guys are fighting and stuff. It looks good. I'm excited to read it because I really don't know anything about it, so I don't know if any of you guys have ever read it. Let me know, or if it's really terrible and I should avoid it. This was a library copy, so that's kind of neat. Never had one of those. Other than I hate those. Other than the book that got destroyed, and I had to pay for it, and now it's somewhere.
That's funny because that was did we? That was the second Vision trade.
They took it. Yeah.
Oh, I think you're right. That's funny. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, I have the Vision hardcover now, so you're all good. I also bought the Buffy Hellmouth event. This is the new Boom crossover event. It is a standard hardcover. It's a limited edition. You can still find it everywhere. And here's the deal, guys. I like the new Boom stuff. I actually haven't read the Hellmouth event yet. I stopped right before there. So I'm looking forward to this. We know with Boom, this isn't going to match anything. Like, they came out with a limited Angel hardcover. I don't have it near me, but and then they just never came out with it anymore. So it's like, okay, great. But thankfully, they announced a Buffy oversized hardcover for next year. So I think it's going to include, so I would assume it would include this. So this is pointless for me to have, but look at this beautiful cover and I need it. And again, I want to support all the Buffy Boom stuff because that's what they need. They need people to buy it. So they keep, producing stuff. If I have to double dip, just so be it. Okay. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's right. Take one for the team.
That's what I'm doing. That's it.
So this, you found this when we were shopping, and you just grabbed it and said, "Hey, I don't know if you care about this at all, but it looks like your jam." And she was correct, and that's why she's my wife. And Judge Dredd, I forget what's it officially, Restricted Files #1. And so it like collects all of the 2000 AD annuals and specials. I mean, it's just like ridiculously awesome, insane. I can't come up with more adjectives that would describe what this art is. It just looks like a blast and just like a lot of fun. And so I'm excited about that. The shop, where we were at had like 80. I don't know how many did they had, like 8 of these.
There were 4 of those, and there were tons of like the other series. That's why I was like, okay. 4, but he didn't do it.
I didn't do it. I got 2.
I think some of them are hard to find. That's
and
okay.
If I'm in love with it, then I have whales to look for, or I'll think about it when I try to sleep at night and cry.
Yeah, that's what I do about things I've passed up.
That ends up being my #1 selling point to you if we're at a store and it's like, should I get this? I don't think I should get it. And it's like, if you're going to think about it tonight and roll over and be like, hey, remember that insert book? And be like,
yeah,
you should buy it.
Because I've done that a lot and it's bad. So I've decided I just buy things.
A lot.
Some more things I bought. Kaiju Max. This is the first trade. It was dirt cheap. I got the second trade with it for dirt cheap. I've read the first one. Really, really liked it. I read this a few years ago per Kyle Stark's recommendation, actually. He really liked it. This is by Xander Cannon. It is crazy and really, really fun, and I love his art. It's basically these big monsters in like Dune prison stuff. So it's nuts. Part of me didn't want to get this because they did come out with these huge, like crazy oversized editions, but they're quite expensive. It's Oni Press. You don't get a great discount everywhere. So I was like, these are really cheap. I'm just going to start getting them the trade route. And I know Reid will enjoy this too. So
yeah, I haven't.
We're going to read together at some point.
Oh,
that'll be
all
fun.
Right. I guess
I'm excited right now.
All right, way to go. You heard it first.
Yep.
One of the things that I got, so my favorite, definitely in my top 5 greatest cartoonists of all time, of course, is Will Eisner. And we found this book, and it's like, it's an Eisner book that I have not read, and I really didn't know much about. This little hardcover called The Plot, and the secret story of the protocols of the Elders of Zion, which is like the most old school comic name I've ever heard. And that has me interested, but also like, Eisner, of course, he's, his namesake is what the Eisners are named after. Basically like invented the graphic novel. He's like this beautiful, like classic cartooning art. Most known probably for Contract with God and the original, like the Spirit, like strips and stuff. But I'm super excited to read this because it's one that I didn't really know that much about. And I may have like kind of heard about it. I have a couple books like specifically on Eisner that have probably mentioned it. But, and of course, he's passed away now. He passed away in 2005, but I'm trying to find when this book was actually made. And I probably should have done that before right now, but it looks fun.
Not what we do here.
Great. It's not. Nope.
No.
No prep. No prep, all pep.
I think you're slowly getting your Eisner collection. That's what you're doing,
Yes,
right?
that's
You're
the
picking
plan.
up everything.
That's trying to.
I'm doing something similar with this next guy, Matt Kent, who I really enjoy. Although there's some stuff I've read that I didn't enjoy, and I'm giving back to the place that you know what I was talking about. But Department H, I have really enjoyed. I've read, I think, the first 2 volumes, but I only have 3 and 4. There are only 4 hardcovers. And then this one, you can still pick it up, but you kind of have to get it secondhand. And I decided, I was in a local comic shop. The list is only like $20 for these. So I was like, I'm going to support the shop and get this. And I thankfully found Mind Management Volume 4. This one, for anyone interested in the series, they are coming out with these paperback omnibus editions, which are fine and great. But if you like these little hardcovers, which are really nice, you may want to pick this up if you find it at an LCS, because this is the one going up in price. And I have, volume 1 to 3. So I needed 4 next, and I need to go ahead and get the other ones, because if this is going out of print, the other ones may. And it could come back. These should be evergreen titles for Dark Horse, especially now that they're losing all their licenses and stuff. But, this is what I needed. I was very excited. They only had this one. And I was like, great, that's the one I need.
Yeah, so I think I was the one who found it on the shelf. I mean,
I told you what to look for, but it's fine.
I told you to look for it, but it's fine.
Okay. This is what we do all the time.
Yeah. This is one that actually I pulled off of the shelf thinking that it would be one that you would want. And then you looked at it and you were like, yeah, I like one thing of that. And the rest of it looks like your thing. So I got it. And that's King City, which says down here, Cat Master Comics, which sounds pretty sweet. Again,
a lot of cats in there.
Yeah. I mean, there's fewer cats than expected for it to have that many cats on the cover. But like, look at that image. There's some cute, that's not that. There it is. There's some cats like hanging out on whatever that is. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that.
Years ago, The Farm. That's what it says. I don't know what The Farm is. Didn't read it. Haven't read it. Don't know what it's about. Don't know who this guy is, but it looks fun. I think Image put it out, and also this is like super chunk. I mean, check it out. Check out the
look at that flop factor.
Look at that. Whoa.
Yeah, so you're going to learn quickly.
Can you hear that? You hear that?
We love chunky trades, and we love a good flop for a book. So that's how sometimes it's just a matter of, are there cats? Does this look cool? We don't know anything about it, and that's what we're getting. So again, like always, if you guys have read that and you liked it, let us know.
Yeah, this had the hat trick. It's chunky. It's got a cat, and it flops.
Yeah, perfect flop.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, we'll have to. So this is one I bought that I have read. I've read before from the library. Goodbye, Chunky Rice. This is also dirt cheap. Of course, this is Craig Thompson at some of his finest work. I really, really liked this story back when I read it. And I was like, Reid, you have to read this, so let's buy this.
Yeah, I think
it's worth your time.
I think I got it from the library a few times and then just never read it.
That's part of our problem, right? Because I do that a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Just get something from the library, you don't read it.
That's probably like one of the like best things for our collection out of like quarantine is we haven't been able to go to the library to get more books to stack over there and not read.
It's like more difficult for sure to go in a library right now than go into a bookstore.
Yeah. There's this thing called The Finder, and it's the library. The Finder Library. That's the name of the book. I'm sorry. I don't know things.
I think it's like a library edition, right?
No, well, because it's not. Library edition.
I know it's not. But
it's not. I don't know.
I thought it was just called The Finder.
I mean, let me see. Let's look.
I don't know.
It everywhere it says The Finder Library.
Okay, then that's what it's called, guys. I don't know.
It's just called Finder.
I told you. I think they're just saying, hey, this is everything in one thing.
Oh, I know.
And there's different volumes.
I don't know. I don't know what it's about. It looks cool. I picked it up because I honestly thought this would be perfect for I thought this was going to be something that you would like personally, just from the cover. And then I opened it up and I was like, nope, this looks like something for me.
I think there will be an intersection there from what I've heard.
Probably. I'm trying. There seems to be quite a few boobies, and so that leans a little bit towards away from your liking, probably.
True. That's true.
Trying. I mean, the art looks really cool. I was trying to find some stuff that didn't look weird, but it looks weird, so it doesn't really matter. But the art's really cool. It looks like a lot of like fine line, like cross hatching stuff. So like almost like Eisner or Shannon Wheeler stuff. Just looks really neat, and I had never heard about it or like didn't know anything, and I don't know anything about it. And apparently, it's just called The Finder, and I'm gonna find it. Let's see.
Good one.
You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody.
Should we thank him for that? Because I don't know about that.
You just did.
So I'm peeling off a sticker on the front of this. That's what's taking me a second. There we go. Oh, no. All right, that's fine.
I heard that.
There's still some stickers. Well, it didn't. It just like stayed. So this Lost Soul Be at Peace. This was one of my favorite reads from like a year or two ago. I can't remember when it came out. This is Maggie Thrash. She has a really unique like colored pencil sort of style. It's not going to be everybody's tea. You may not like it, but I like weird art. That's why I love Jeff Lemire. It's different. It's unique. And I really enjoy her stuff. And her writing is fantastic. I adored this story. So if you haven't read this, if it's not on your radar, make it on your radar. I read it from the library. I didn't own a copy. I found it for cheap. This is the story of this haul. We just want deals. And that's why we were able to get so much, right? Like, if you look for the deals, you'll find the deals. And we wait for deals every time.
This is us on our vacation. You know
what we're doing? That?
Breaking in the deals.
This is a mistake. This was a mistake, is what this was.
Remember when you asked me to be here?
Yeah. Now it's a fever dream.
I'm gonna show. Yeah, sorry. So I'm gonna show off two things here that are like small press stuff. So if any of you guys know anything about I'm sure most people know more about Kristan. She also likes small press stuff. But like that's like my jam, as she says it. So we went to a local shop when we were on our trip, and I found this book called Holler. And it's like, I think me and Jeremy Massey like need to become best friends, because this is like everything that I love in comics. It's like bands. I love the art. The coloring is like fantastic. The story was good, and it was kind of like these little collections. It took me a while to realize that it's not autobio, because it's written as if it was, but like there's this little story about his Nirvana shirt and him like wearing it at church, which is like so relatable in my life. My mom told me I couldn't wear my class shirt to church, and I was really upset about it. But I don't know. I just really loved it. So if you ever get the chance to get this, you should. I think It's Alive is who puts it out, which I think just might be the guy. And then the other thing real quick was Please Destroy the Internet. And Kristan read this as well.
I did.
It's just like little bitty like strips and stories by Michael Sweater, probably Sweater, because I'm bad at saying things. Put out by Silver Sprocket, which if you guys don't know Silver Sprocket, it's like some of the best like small press, just like oddball type stuff, like real, basically like taking like DIY punk ethos and stuff like that and applying it straight to comics like all the time. The art's just weird and funny, and like they're just little baby stories, but they gave me a chuckle, and so I enjoyed that. So Please Destroy the Internet by Silver Sprocket. Check it out.
Yeah, I enjoyed that too. It's worth your money. I also got a little small press thing. also by, isn't this by Silver Spot? Yeah, it is.
I think so, yeah.
Your black friend, this has been Passmore. He did the art for Bottom Feeders. I thought I could grab it. I can't. Which I adored. So this is just like a little mini comic, and I'm looking forward to it. I haven't read it yet, but I love his art, and I really love Bottom Feeders. So there's that. This is my other, I'm going to go through my singles real quick while I'm here.
Okay.
Jen Bartel cover. Guys, I love her. I love her covers. This is the new Willow Boom series. I'm really looking forward to this. And this is, what's her name? I don't know. I can't remember her name. She did the art for Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me.
Mariko
I can't remember her name now. No, that's the writer.
I know.
Is it in here? Oh yeah, it's probably in here. Duh. Let's see. Well,
I would like to think that Boom would
variants.
give credit.
Here we go. Rosemary Valero O'Connell. Okay, so I knew she had like 3 names and I couldn't figure them out, but I love this cover too. It's a really nice cover.
Really cute cover.
And then I had to pick up Wicked Things #2 and Wicked Things #3. This is a sort of Giant Days spinoff. Sort of. Sort of. But it's John Allison. It's one of the main characters, like her sister. I think it's her sister.
I don't know. Don't
I forget now.
I haven't seen,
don't ask me to get things right on the show, guys. But I'm looking for, I've only read the first issue. I really liked it. So I want to support that as it comes out. And I wanted to support that shop. So that's why I got some singles. I'm not usually in the habit of that, but that's what I did.
Speaking of singles, I got this guy, Savage Dragon 250, because that's a huge milestone. Savage Dragon been around forever, with Eric Larson, Image founder, and although Spawn may have just hit 300 issues, and 301 and over 300 to be a record-breaking independent book, that may be true, but Eric Larson's been writing and drawing like nearly every single issue for 250 of them, which is incredible. There's a lot of butts in this. Hang on. Sorry.
You should talk about that variant you got.
Oh yeah, this is the variant cover, which is Walt Simonson. There's his dinosaur signature, and like, look, it's a family. It's like a Savage Dragon baby, and like, there's the someone. I don't know. It looks cool. Savage Dragon is neat. There looks to be like a lot of like small mini stories in here, which sounds exciting. I haven't read all of Savage Dragon because like there's 250 issues of it, and that's a lot.
Too much.
I've read the first like 4, like the original like mini series that Eric Larson did, and it's fantastic if you want to watch like a big muscly green dude fight people, and you don't want him to be the Hulk. If you want him to be a dragon and not like a mutant, or I don't know, what's the Hulk? Is he a thing? What's his official thing?
Well, there's like a radiation that caused his situation.
If you don't want a radiator version of a mutant person, Savage Dragon. There you go.
He's not a mutant, but anyway.
He's a radiator.
We can get into that some other time.
Let's do it. I'd love that. We can discuss that and which one Link is, because I still don't know.
No. Let's not go there.
Oh, we're going.
Guys, I got one of the omnibus. I'm big into the omnibus, right? But people make fun of this one, and I don't care. Because it was very cheap and I needed it.
Oh, I know which one this is.
Muppet Babies, y'all. Okay, come on. Look at that spine. That's a good spine. I like that spine. I mean, y'all, it's cute. And I like cute things. And this was very cheap and I needed it. So I got it. That's something I got.
That's going to be the first omnibus that I ever read.
Is it? Probably. Are you going to do it?
Probably. That's exciting. That and then the Ewok and Droid series.
Yeah, the two that people make fun of the most, probably.
Yes.
Which we have both. And they were both dirt cheap. That's why you get them, right? They're dirt cheap. That's what you want. Oh, he's raking it in.
That's right.
He's raking it in.
Raking it in.
All right. Do you have more stuff?
I don't think so.
All right. I'm going through my manga then.
Okay, yeah, you do that.
We went to Barnes and Noble the other day.
Don't say where.
No, I'm shouting out Barnes and Noble because here's the deal, y'all. They're dying, and we haven't been to one in a very long time. But I was in town for a doctor appointment, and there's one nearby. I had a gift card that I've had for too long, and I was like, I need to go here and actually spend this gift card before it's gone, right? Hopefully it doesn't die. I feel like we do need bookstores now more than ever. Yeah. But it's hard to pay cover price for things. I think we all know that. No one wants to do that. And as you just saw, we're raking in the deals, and you're not going to find that typically at Barnes & Noble. However, I did find some stuff, and I was able to use my gift card, so that really, really helped. I've been looking forward to the new Urasawa story. I love Urasawa so much. Reid loves him too.
Oh, yeah.
Monster is my favorite manga. So, and this is nice and one and done. I'm really looking forward to that because so often with, the majority of manga series, you got to really there's a lot of volumes ahead of you, and it's daunting.
Especially Urasawa.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's actually not that bad compared to One Piece or something, right?
Well, yeah. But as far as dense, Monster is just so dense.
That's true.
I mean, it's brilliant, but it's dense, yeah.
It takes some time.
Yeah.
So this will be really fun. I'm looking forward to this. That was the one thing I really wanted to get with my gift card. But I also grabbed this cover. I can't. It's called Count Fujiwara's Suffering. And Count Fujiwara, apparently, is this little cat, right? So ignore this. I looked in this, and I was like, is it going to be weird? It's quite chunky. But, you got to be... I don't love fan service, right? In my manga or anything. So I had to be aware of that. But I'm opening pages. I'm not seeing anything like that. Maybe I haven't gotten to it. I feel like we found one page, but there's a lot of cats, and I need to read it because I will read any cat manga or cat comic, and it looks real cute. So we'll see. Hopefully it's not too bad, and there's nothing crazy in it that I'm going to be like, what is this? Yeah. And sometimes you can get over that, right? It really depends on how good the story is. Yeah. Because I really loved High-Rise Invasion. I thought it was going to be so stupid. And I was very concerned about how many underwear shots there were. It was very unnecessary. But I like that story, and I'm not saying it's good. I don't know that it is, but I did enjoy it.
You're saying it's good.
I'm saying I enjoyed it.
You talked about it too much for it
because
not
it was
to be good.
I liked it. It was crazy. Yeah. I liked it.
I remember.
You
explained the entire thing to me. And I remember being like, how is this thing what?
Yeah.
I didn't understand it. But you were so excited. It was great.
I mean, it was real dumb, but it starts out real dumb. And I'm not saying it gets better, but I enjoyed it. I just
it's still sitting on your shelf, therefore you loved it.
Well, it hasn't ended, so I still.
I didn't know that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, how's it gonna end? Smiley face, with that weird smiley face mask.
Yeah, there's a killer, and there's high rises, and this girl just wakes up, and she's in this other world where all these high rise buildings are connected by bridges, and she's like, where am I? And then someone starts coming away. She's like, yay, a person. And they have this smiley face mask on, and they've got something to murder her with, some sort of weapon. Everyone has a different weapon. And it turns out they're being controlled by these masks and making them murderers. And she's like, where am I? And she's stupid, but she gets better, and she gets less stupid. And there's character growth. She finds other good people who aren't murderers, right? But then some of them get taken over by the mask. It's it's crazy. But if you want a good, ridiculous murder manga, that's your series, and you can kind of make fun of it, and I like that. So I'm gonna keep buying it, guys. I got them off for really cheap. That's the story of our life. I got them for very cheap. I wanted to give it a try.
We can justify everything by how cheap it was.
Yeah, I didn't pay a lot, so I just had a good time. This is my Right Stuff haul, just this little portion. I've been so excited. This is my favorite ongoing manga series right now, 100%, which is A Man and His Cat. Guys, Square Enix is putting this out. Okay, they're a smaller manga publisher, I would say. and it's about this older guy. He loses his wife, unfortunately. She always wanted a cat, and he never got a cat, so he went to adopt a cat, and there was this like weird looking big old cat there that everyone had passed up on, and he was so lonely, and the guy was lonely, and they find each other, and it's just like, I didn't know that I would like feel like I was gonna cry the whole first volume, but that's how I felt. And this is the second volume, and it's worth every penny. This, like, it's a thin volume, but it's so sturdy. Like, it's really well made. Like, these are really nice, like, in pages here. They're like real thick. The pages themselves are like, there's a little tooth to them. It feels really good. It's just a nice quality manga. So if you haven't checked this out and, you like pets at all, you're going to feel things when you read this. And it's so good. I keep telling Reid he has to read it because it's so good.
I'm scared. So like, I know that it continues, but it's like anything with a pet is scary to read, like, ever.
Yeah, see, and I've talked about this before, but I really think any piece of media, like a book, manga, comics, TV shows, movies, I want a warning at the beginning. If that animal dies, I need to know at the beginning, because guess what? I'm probably not going to go into this. Like, it's just not going to happen. My dog Skip, why didn't you tell me? Like, I'm so upset.
You know, with my dog Skip.
Okay. But
you should know.
Well, and that's the sad thing, right? You kind of assume now going into anything that the animal's going to die. Now, thankfully, she's sweet home. She's still alive, and I'm happy about it, right?
For now.
Like, it ended. It ended. She's alive forever. Don't say this to me. So anyway, I'm hoping that never happens in this end. It's just happy before it, because it's quite uplifting, right? That sounds kind of sad at first, and it sort of is, but it's very uplifting. It's very hopeful, and they find like happiness in each other, and it's really great.
Yeah, look at that man and his cat.
Yeah. Anyone who has a pet at all like can relate to this. So you don't even have to love cats. Like, you just love animals. Also, I don't know why you wouldn't love cats, but it's another story.
They wouldn't love cats if they haven't met our cats. That's what I tell everybody.
That's what I'm saying. So the other 3 volumes, they go together. I don't think I can hold all these. They're quite heavy. But The Drifting Classroom, these really nice Viz hardcovers that came out. They're beautiful. This is an older classic horror manga series. This is actually the first manga I ever read, which is so weird. I say this to people and they're like, what? Like, how did that happen? Right? Our local library, the one has all the old volumes, the single volumes, and I just picked that up. I don't know why. I was just like, this sounds good, and that's what I read. So I was like, I'd like to own it. I never owned it, and these are just beautiful, gorgeous hardcovers. These spines, I don't think I can do it.
You can go 2, I bet.
Let's see, guys.
Can she do it?
Yeah! We're so nice together. Strong. So, I'm shaking. Yeah. They're really heavy.
Yeah, they are.
You picked them up,
I did.
So, these are worth your money. Right Stuff had a sale for all 3 of them together. It was a really good sale. So, check out Right Stuff if you like manga. They have really good sales. And that's breaking in the deals.
Mm-hmm. That's it, man. Raking it in.
So that's my manga. A few other things I want to show. This was apparently the book of the year at some point. It's called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by Charlie Maxey? I don't know.
Maxey.
I saw this on so many best of lists when it came out, which I think was like a year ago maybe. It's not quite. This was put in the comic section, but I don't know that we can say that. And it looks like it's like a children's book, sort of, but it's clearly all ages. I know a lot of adults adore this. It is so uplifting. I read this very quickly, of course, but I think everyone needs this for, like, especially now, we all need something uplifting, and it's just a nice, hopeful story that has like little pieces of like wisdom throughout it. This really nice watercolor art. It's so simple, simplistic. It's seriously worth your time. So I recommend this to you, literally everyone. It's fantastic. So this was worth my money. You know what? I'll show you 2 novels I bought. How about that?
Okay.
Do you guys care about that?
Yeah,
we're gonna show novels.
Yeah, do it.
You got some stuff?
Well, I remembered one book that we both read that I want to show.
Okay, well, let me do this real quick.
Yeah, we can do that last.
I saw that the cover drew me in. Alice Isn't Dead. This is by Joseph Fink, who did Welcome to Night Vale. It's this, by the way, of course, I was like, oh, it's signed, because this is like at a secondhand store. This signature is the most abysmal signature I feel like I've ever. Come on, Joseph.
I mean, at least it's kind of a J.
That's true. And hey, I'm sure he had to sign like a butt ton of these. I get it. But you know what I love about this? No dust jacket. Oh, that's so nice.
Right.
You don't see that enough, especially with like frontlist hardcovers like this. And I read the description. Also, these end pages are beautiful, and it drew me in. It's clearly a thriller, and it just sounds wonderful. So, if you guys have read this, let me know. This is another thriller that I got at the Barnes & Noble Annex. This is a new thing they're trying. $8 for like a newer hardcover. This cover, I don't think you can see, but these little water droplets are like raised.
It feels like rain.
Yeah, I wish you could see this. Like, I don't think you can tell
like
on camera.
When you were like in like elementary school and you had a craft day. And,
the glue?
And you put like glue dots everywhere, and then you would like feel all over it.
Kind of see it there.
That's what it's like.
You can kind of see it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's really nice. This is a thriller that my friend Mary got. So I was like, hey, do I need to give this to you? She's like, yeah. You know what it's about? I sure don't. Apparently the last house guest. Something's going on with them. They probably died. That's my guess.
The last one.
The last one. They died. So, I think that's it. Do you want to show these socks?
Yeah.
You guys want to see my socks?
I thought there was another book for you to show, too.
If there is, I don't have it by me.
Oh, that's sad.
I do want to show these socks. It's related to reading. But I got this wonderful package in the mail the other day from my friend Mary, who I feel like I've only talked about a million times now. Look, there's little sloths and there's books. And I was like, what is this? And guys, there's like reading socks. They're reading these little animals, and it's so good. These cats, of course, are my favorite. Mm-hmm. Come on. So, thanks, Mary. I love socks.
Yeah, Mary's cool. So yeah, last thing I wanted to talk about, because I forgot it earlier, is something that we both read. I think you read this. I think Death Wins a Goldfish.
I did read that.
Yeah, when we were talking, you were talking about uplifting with the fox horse thing book.
Yeah, that's it's kind of similar. They're along the same realm.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's just like, it's like this super like sketchy, simple drawings. It's about like, there's death, there's the Grim Reaper, and he like has so much vacation time from his reaping, and so he goes on like a sabbatical for a year.
Yeah, his employer was like, you have to take your time. Mm-hmm. And he had a year saved up. So he's like, oh gosh, what am I going to do for a year? I'm used to like, he hadn't used sick days. He hadn't used vacation days. He hadn't used nothing the entire time he's been reaping.
Yeah. And so like, it's just his diary. And like, this was my favorite page. And I'm just going to show it because, he's going to get a coffee, and then they get his name wrong. They say he's Beth. My favorite, but it's just so like simple gags like that. It's just so fun and nice.
For a book about like
death,
a death Grim Reaper, and I love the introduction. It's one of those you shouldn't skip the introduction. It was really well done. I love what he was saying. The guy, I forget his name, but he had worked for the, what was it, the New Yorker or the New York Times?
Yeah, New York Times. He's like an illustrator for a column there.
I don't think he's working there anymore.
Yeah, it says was.
Because he tells his whole story about him working there and how long he worked there, and he kind of just felt so drained from the whole thing. And it was really like, it was one of those things. And then he talked about like with his dad, and his dad was like, he was asking his dad about retirement, and he was like, what's one thing you would say to someone working now and in their 30s or whatever, that you would like do differently? And he was like, work less. Mm-hmm. And I I really love that message. And then that's how you felt from the whole book, right? It was like, don't spend your whole life bogging yourself down, because he was even talking about something that you can relate to a lot. You know, for anyone who doesn't know, Reid does comics on the side, and he works a million jobs on top of that. Yeah. And, you know, I think you also often feel like you're kind of bogged down with that, or you can never not be working on something. And it's one of those, this is kind of wrapping it up, right? We had a week of vacation this week, and I think you did a really good job of not working on any of your jobs. You did a little bit, you did a little drawing here and there, but it was never like like, you know, you just have to take a break sometimes. And I think that's a good thing that the book laid out for anyone. I think a lot of people have that problem, or we feel like we always have to be doing something, or, you know, we can't relax. And I think that's one thing. We all need to be less stressed, right? So that's a really good book. It has a great message. It is really funny. There are just like really good little hopeful moments. And I think there's a lot to be learned from that book. And the other one I mentioned, this book. Yeah. So these are two really great ones. And I will also add just, where is it? Oh, I got it.
All right, you got
Another one that a lot of people have read and loved, but if you haven't, please.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Sun's Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too. It's amazing. It's so good. And it's a similar, like, really nice message. This alien gets dropped off on Earth, and all these the aliens kind of just leave him, the whole pack and the UFOs. And he's trying to figure out what everything is. And it's just, it's another one of those books. It's so simple, but you learn so much about life. And it's one of those books that I feel like everyone should be reading. So these are really nice. You can pick them up and feel things. It's great.
Absolutely. And really quick, I just want to read, there was this one page in the Death Wins a Goldfish, and I just want to, if I can, is it all right? I just want to read it, because I felt like it was the most uplifting thing. And it says, you know, like, it's his journal entries. And so it says, October 20th, saw the redwoods, even bigger than I thought. One of the trees had a great big hole right through the middle of it. The guide said it was dying slowly. So when everyone passed, I stepped inside. All the sounds just went away. I felt small and warm, but it wasn't dying at all. It was just living slowly.
I love that too. Yeah.
It's just, I think
it's so much.
It's, yeah. I can't even.
We're talking over each other now, but I'm sorry. Yeah. But it's one of those, like, you looked at you bought that again on a sale, by the cover, right? You were just like, here's a cover buy. And I read it and I felt like I got so much from it, more than I'm going to get from Muppet Babies. I'm sorry. But there are just some books, right?
Yeah.
That people just pass by and they shouldn't. So I think that's a good one. The ones I keep showing you over here. That's a nice trifecta. If you need a good gift for someone.
Yeah.
They're so uplifting and nice, and I love it. Cat's Cafe is another one. I recently gifted that to my Fangirls Assemble co-host, Maddie, because it's one of those, especially now, it's a happy book, and there were just little moments of wisdom and nice things, and it's just like, this is what I need to keep reading. So it's awesome there are books like that. And that Death book, as weird as it looks...
Yeah,
it was great. It really kind of
was going to be like a little, like, just like little gag book, and then I didn't expect it, like, hit me right in the feels. And it's like, any of you guys who know, like Kristan said, you know, I make comics on the side as one of my many ridiculous amount of jobs, and a lot of my comic book material is not exactly super cheerful. It is, to an extent, a lot of, like, uplifting, but, like, you know, personal stories about depression and things like that. So sometimes it's really great when you can just find a book that expresses all of the things that we all feel, but not in a way that is, for lack of a better term, like, triggering. It's like Death But Wins a Goldfish addressed, like, all the sorts of feelings of, like, you know, uncertainty. What am I doing with my life? All of this from the perspective of someone whose job is death, and, you know, all of these things. And then you come out of it on the other side, both, you know, I guess literally and then probably metaphorically, since of what the book is. Like, it just you come out like full. I felt like I received something from this work. And I don't know, I really didn't expect it to, and I think going into it with no expectations really helped that. But I think right now is the number one time for people to just be trying books. Like, we're in this weird, uncertain time in our country and in our entire globe, the whole world. And it's just, there's a lot of things that can really help get us through that. And books is a huge part of it. I think everyone should just be reading as much as they can and enjoying the work of other people. And I don't know, I didn't mean to get on a soapbox there, but
no, that's the truth. There's no soapy about it. So yeah, if you guys have read any of these books or you want more information, let us know in the comments, and we will try to link some of these in the description box, especially the small press stuff.
Definitely.
So yeah, and if you have any suggestions for us, we clearly love to just pick up books and try them. Yeah. So let us know. And Reid just mentioned that he is a comic book artist. I don't have your book near me, but do you have it near you?
Maybe. Nope. I have some things near me. Give me a second.
Okay. You got to get your plug in, Reid, which we will link Reid's Store NV in the description box if you want to support Reid, who is a truly independent creator. Hardcore Anxiety is out now from Microcosm Publishing, a graphic guide to punk rock and mental health. There's Old Man Popeye, which is a nice, soft, large, but thin mini comic. There's the Aquabats versus Aquacats. You can get a nice mini comic bundle for very cheap as Store NV right now. Again, link in description. So check that out. And Reid and I think we're going to be back maybe Friday. We may do a live Friday reads. We talked about this, where we talk about what we're reading, what we're going to be reading for the week. And it's going to be hard with my schedule, but I think we're going to do it.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, we both work a lot, and my hat fell. We both work a lot and everything, but I think this is something that is, I feel like this is just as much like for us as it is for anybody else. And the fact, if anybody else cares, then great. But I mean,
Yeah, thank you for watching, especially if you made it this far. It's almost an hour in. Where we just talk about these books we bought. And we'll be able to talk about them more hopefully Friday. We'll read some of these and we'll let you know what we think.
Absolutely.
And we're looking forward to that. So thank you for watching.
Kristan, where can they find you?
They can find me at The Comic Slayer on Instagram. There is a Twitter if you want to follow it. I haven't set it up yet, though, but it does exist. And, every Sunday you can catch me on the Omnibus Collectors Network on Fangirls Assemble with my co-host Maddie at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. And, if you follow Instagram, I'll try to let you guys know when that next show is going to be.
Sweet.
And if you subscribe, you will be notified.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You can do it.
There's a bell if you want to touch it. If you don't, it's fine.
I don't like it. Don't
There's
say,
a bell.
I know, but don't say touch the bell.
Well, if you're on your phone, you touch it.
No,
if you're on your iPad, you touch it.
No,
you keep
stop.
touching it. Touching it. If you want more, these are our daily married shenanigans. This is how we deal with each other.
This isn't a joke. This is real life. This is how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find me since thanks for asking.
You can find him in the description where we're going to link your store. People can buy stuff.
Yeah, you can on all social media at Reid Chancellor. And I'll talk about that. I've got a book coming out in October. It's going to print this week called Rock and Roll Terrorist, The Graphic Life of Shock Rocker G.G. Allen. It's one of those not so cheerful books I was mentioning later.
If you guys don't know who G.G. Allen is, don't Google him.
I was going to say, don't
do it. Wait for Reid's book, and then you'll know why you should have Googled him. So just don't, especially if you're at work. Please don't.
Oh, please don't do it at work.
It's not a good idea. You're going to have to clear your history. It's not good. But it's fascinating. I think it's a great book for, like, I say it a lot, true crime fans, just because he's so crazy, like a lot of murderers. He didn't murder anyone, allegedly.
But he could have.
He said
that he would
did a lot
have.
of crazy stuff.
Yeah,
he did say that.
But
It's a crazy story. I didn't know him before Reid started making this book, and it's a really good book, and it's fascinating. So if you want a fascinating true story, that's going to be one you want to get. And there's going to be a coloring book. But also, the big selling point, guys, Iggy Pop.
Oh, yeah.
Has a blurb.
Me.
He read your book. He loved your book. And there's a blurb right on that cover because he said some great, nice things about you in that book. And it's
life-changing.
Awesome.
That is like...
You can say that every time now, and you should.
Yeah, I really should.
I'm still so confused by it.
I don't know. I
mean,
don't...
it's amazing, but I'm like, I can't believe he did that.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. You send an email, and then somebody gets back to you and says, yeah, send it. And I'm like... Iggy Pop doesn't read emails.
You're like, he'll never get back.
He doesn't know how to open up an attachment.
He did, though.
But he did. I bet someone printed it off for him and like had to say it to him.
That's hilarious. There's your book is in Iggy Pop's like shack somewhere.
Yeah,
chilling on
his like bungalow.
His bungalow, yeah. in his hammock, it's still laying there from when you read it.
You know he has a hammock.
You know he has a hammock.
I'm pretty sure I've actually seen a hammock in like one of the documentaries.
If he doesn't have a hammock, then I don't know him at all. That's how
he's got to have a hammock. He's swimming in all that snow day money.
Oh, guys, snow day is so good. Okay, we shouldn't get on a snow day rant. We will be here for another hour.
Next time, we'll talk about snow day.
If anyone wants a snow day review, let us know in the comments. Because we'll do it. I'm not joking.
Oh, we will.
We'll do it. Remember that stupid ankle bracelet? We'll do it. It's not a bracelet, anklet. We'll do it.
You said the word anklet.
His name was Hal, right? Hal Lane. Hal Lane. Lane was the best. It's like, look at your best friend. What are you doing with your life? Okay.
His name was Hal.
All right. Anyway, snow day. Thanks for watching, especially if you got the snow day portion.
If you made it. I mean, come on, you gotta
the best. If you made it, let us know. Say snow day in the comments. Thank you.
Thanks.
See you Friday.
See you guys. Bye.